Hello lovely people, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all well. Today we are doing another nervous guide video. This time we're going to talk all things Aladdin UK tour version. So if you want to know what's in, what's out, what's cooking, what's good looking, then stick around and we'll get into it in 2 whole seconds. So here we go, let's talk Aladdin and the Nervous Guide. If you've never been here before, let me get you up to speed. That's the one. For every show that I see, I like to do 2 separate videos on that show. Number 1 is this one. This is the Nervous Guide. A Nervous Guide, if you've never been here before, is all about the show and my experience. So if you want to know about seating, about the theatre itself, about views, and in addition to that any content or sensory warnings, then this is your video to watch. The next video, the second video that I always like to do, is the review. The reason I put it in inverted commas, and I always try to, is because I'm not professional anyway. I just like spending my hard-earned cash on theatre tickets. So it's basically where I talk about things I've enjoyed, things that I might have not enjoyed as much, and I do tend to give them star ratings, but like the review itself, they're not really taken seriously. It's just more for the giggles of it, you know. But that's enough of that. Let's get into this video, the Nervous Guide, if you will. This show, Aladdin, is currently, at the time of filming and uploading, still at the Birmingham Hippodrome. It is going into its last week at the theatre before it moves on to pastures new. I think there is 2 more stops on this tour before it closes. I was very last minute in my ticket purchasing, to the point that by the time I was purchasing, most of the tickets left were the expensive ones. And by expensive we don't mean, oh, £50, no. Because, I don't know if it's because it's a Disney show, but the highest price for tickets for this show was £95 a ticket. Bearing in mind that Aladdin is Disney and Disney means children, how can people be willing to fork out that amount of money? I do not know. I have in the past bought really expensive tickets. I am guilty of that, but it's usually for a show I know quite well, and sometimes ones that I love. The most expensive ticket I've ever bought was for Kinky Boots, and I'm happy with that decision because it was the last show ever. I, however, bought the last cheap ticket available at the time, and when I bought it, it was put as a potentially restricted view seat. As always, I will try and leave a picture of my view to the side of me, but the basic problem with my seat, which was it was in the circle and it was N16. The reason that it is portrayed as a potentially restricted view seat is because there is 2 bars technically in your way. Safety rails, rails that have to be there. But I have to say, for this show anyway, the review actually wasn't restricted at all, and it was an absolutely excellent seat to go solo and sit in, because there was no one in front of me, because in front of me was the walkway or aisle to both above me and also below me. But it also was amazing because I could make a very quick exit out the theatre to catch a train, which was amazing. The rails literally caused me next to no issues. There is actually a gap between the end of the stage and the start of the pit for Aladdin, so I literally had no sight problems whatsoever. Obviously, if it is a person that is as short a height than me, I don't know if that's any different, but as a 5'7", 5'8" person of my stature, I had absolutely no issues with the seat. And like quite a lot of the visits to the Hippodrome recently, I also really enjoyed my stay at that theatre. I know where everything is, I never have a problem. Security is always usually very helpful. The cast board is always in the same place. There is always a little post saying what time your show is finishing or estimated to be finishing. And yeah, I just love everything about the Hippodrome. If it is a West Midlands theatre that I have visited, you know that I will be singing their praises because I've never had a terrible experience in any of them. Now going into the show and the content and sensory warnings, obviously being Disney, the content warnings aren't really there. And this time we're talking more about the sensory side. Now before I get into the sensory stuff, I feel I should probably caveat with me saying that this is a list of things that I found a bit nerve-wracking, or it caused me a bit of discomfort or a little bit of anxiety, to not coin the phrase but be kind of, you know, everyone is different, and I have in the past found little much better guides for this show especially, so if I can find it again I will leave it in the description area if you want to click on it and find out much more than I can give you. But here is where my sensory warnings are coming from. Firstly, in Act 1 there is a lightning sound followed by a flashing light before Jafar does his first incantations. The scene is when he and Iago are on the stage together. There is a curtain behind them, so they have not got a lot of the stage. They are very much forefront of the stage, because I'm assuming something crazy is happening behind the scenes, which I always find very interesting when they do that kind of for stage curtain situation. But as the scene progresses, a book appears on the other side of the stage. They walk over to that book and Jafar reads a incantation. As that incantation finishes, a lightning sound or a thunder sound is made, and there is a lightning flash, and there is also lights on the back of the curtain to indicate that the magic has happened. The second lightning slash thunder sound happens when Aladdin first enters the cave. He is greeted by a variety of riches and he is told to touch nothing but the lamp. He of course touches something that isn't the lamp. He goes towards a necklace. He touches that necklace, a thunder sound happens, and that is followed by a blackout. Finally, in Act 1 there is one more moment to be aware of, and that is at the end of Friend Like Me. There is flashing lights, there is streamers, and there is also mini pyrotechnics. All comes together in a nice rounded bow pew moment, which shocks you a little bit and takes you into the end of that song and towards the end of Act 1. In Act 2 there is firstly a blackout that is actually called for by the genie himself. To make an exit off the stage, he shouts blackout. He puts a pair of sunglasses on, he shouts blackout. A blackout happens. Isn't that nice? There is also a moment of haze throughout the entirety of the stage area during A Whole New World to indicate that they're in the air and there is clouds below them. Towards the end of Act 2, when Jafar becomes the all-powerful being, there is a lot of smoke and also lightning slash thunder sounds. It all kind of comes to a point for Jafar when he sinks below his little platformed area and he is no more. That is essentially the biggest sensory, loud slash hazy moment of the entirety of Act 2, apart from the end of the show where there is a blackout to finish the show before the bows, and that is also accompanied by streamers. Loud bang into the audience, streamers that I was 100% not ready for. It's always the ones like that get you. Like I said, if I can find the list that I found online from a different party which might give you some more help, I will definitely make sure to try and leave that in the comments down below. But there we are, that is my nervous guide, if you will, to Aladdin, which is currently on its UK tour. If you haven't already guessed, the next video on this channel will be my review, so I hope you come back for that. And if you have spare time and you feel like looking after me and my side of YouTube for a little bit longer, then feel free to check out some of the other nervous guides that I've done for other shows. But that is all for the end of today. I'm going to leave you here, say thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and I hope you come back next time. But all that's left to say is the usual. I love you all lots, and so long, farewell, Auf Wiedersehen, and goodbye. See you later.